Tom will get into real details of how we kind of scrunch this thing down. But we, one of the comments was that we're somewhat close to the woodland, a little bit spread out, and so we wanted to go back and look at that. We didn't, as last time, weren't real sure about proximity to the woodland. And so we did take a look at that, and we decided to move it out a little bit more. We have really plenty of space here. You can probably see it in really greater detail here, that we, we're back to the space or a little bit more than we had always talked about as far as the buffer between the woodland and the pool. And again, this is the parking remains the same that we had here last time, with the tennis courts relocated from this side of the road to this side of the road. We have the proposed bike trail that connects people down to the tunnel at this location, which connects up at Horton and Hamlet. This area, this is a pool parking area with additional overflow parking for the ball fields. We're looking at draining. One of the questions last time, I know from the Woodland folks, was about draining all of the water from Como into the Woodland wetland area. And that is not possible after we took a look at the grades and everything in here. Essentially, this site slopes continuously down this way. So basically, the water wants to run that way. And so what we have to do is drain all this water into a retention pond somewhere in this vicinity. Anywhere over here, but we showed it in that location. And then the woodland itself just kind of remains the way it was proposed. It's kind of its own internal drainage system. So this roadway would be removed, and this would be the low area for all this particular area here. So there's not any additional water that we can realistically put in there. So then basically we have the same pools here. We've got the drop off, a very big long drop off here, and a lot of parking for the pool. We have about, what was it, 120 cars, guys, I think. Tom? 120 cars, is that what we're looking at in this slot here?
Actually, it's a hair under that. We're at 104 now.
Okay, 104. And you can see we have the new proposed bathhouse, which Tom will explain in more detail. We have the concession area that works from both sides, the pool side as well as outside of the pool fence. This is a picnic area outside of here, the buffer between the woodland and the pool area. And we still have the pathway that continues to the shuttle bus drop-off here that brings people into here. We have bicycle racks shown on the entrance to this particular area, bicycle parking. And what else did I say? A service comes off of this parking lot here to access the back. Some of the buildings are buried underneath the underground on that rockwork. And essentially that's it. It's very much what we had last time. There's some massaging, I think, down on some of the pools. A little bit of shrinkage when we got in the cost estimating, just looking at what we have for Bader Road. And so this is it. And we put up, took a look at two things which maybe can help you visualize this a little bit better. And you might want to come up here later, but this is the layout of the new parking lots and roadways and the pool here. This little dash line indicates the approximate footprint of the proposed pool. And you can see this is the existing pool area here, and this is the tennis court area here. And this shows how Como Avenue goes through the area right here. So you can kind of get a sense of, once Como Avenue comes out, where the proposed new Como Avenue parking lot is really going to fall in relation to the shift to the existing Como. And the other thing, we'll talk a little bit about this later, but Brian kind of laid out a little bit of a development phasing plan that we would look at in funding and how another phase potentially could be, and probably would, in reality work funding wise, would be the ball field addition right here. And this ball field and the adjacent and the path that goes with it would be an additional phase. And then finally, it makes sense to put Jessamine and Beulah in as probably the latest phase of the project. And again, if we were lucky enough to get all the funding, we would do all of it at once, but that's what we're looking at. So, questions before we get into the real details?